Good morning, everybody, and good morning from Lily. Does anybody want a snake? And I'm joking, of course. I would never give up my Lily, not for all the money in the world. And even though I could do with more money, definitely not give up Lily. But yes, we are into our day. Morning. That's what it is, isn't it, Lily? Mum doesn't even get time to, have her clothes on. She's in her PJs, but I guess you don't know, do you? You don't really care what I've got on, so long as you can just come on out and do Lily. Hey, you're coming over to say hello, which is always very nice of you to do before you take off on me. Now I know I have a very different, you know you can't climb on the camera, don't you? Because you're just too heavy to do that, Lil. I know I have a very different take on how I see snakes and their capabilities and their brain capacity and so on. And I don't believe that any of my thoughts and what I've seen is unrealistic or fantasy, or that I'm reading things that just aren't there. That, snakes don't have an amazing capacity, whatever, to learn, to be quite smart. And I've wanted so much when I started my channel for people to see this, because I wanted people to question what they've always thought about their snakes, or just to change a little bit about how they do care for their snakes and give them some credit for being a little bit more than instinctual. Now, I'll never discount the fact that they are instinctual. They do. They need to be. And that will never ever change with your snakes. Instinct is, if they're cold, they need to warm up. They're hungry, they want to eat. Thirsty, they need to drink. But that's what we do too. Exactly the same thing, because it's instinctual in us as well. But I don't believe that snakes just run on that all by itself. And that's why, in lots of ways, I started my channel and stepped out of the box and said, hang on a minute, you know, snakes are not stupid. They are incredibly smart and able to learn things. And I'm not talking about, they can be a mathematician or spell words or, you know, talk to us in speech, that is. But I do think that they talk very much in body language to us, even facial, head language, in the way they look at you and respond to you as well. But you know, if a brain is on a level that I think a lot of people think snakes' brains are, then how does it's early. How do you train a snake to go to the toilet outside if they don't have a brain? Well, the ability to learn. You know, Lily is not so good at the word no. Is that because she does not know what that particular word is? Or Lily knows exactly? No. No. Well, yes, for there, Lily knows exactly what the word no is. She completely gets what that means. That doesn't mean that Lily isn't going to try it on and see if she can get away with things. That's the difference. And the example is Jack gets it. He knows where he can go and where he won't go. He doesn't even bother to really try and go anywhere that he is being told that's a no-go zone. Lily is completely different in that way. And even though she's knowing I'm not allowed to go, the majority, and I would say 99% of the time, is if she's going somewhere where she shouldn't go, she gets to wherever it is and she stops. And if I don't acknowledge the fact that she is actually doing that, she'll move. And the moment I move, she'll stop. And she'll wait to see if I'm going to stop her or if I'm just going to let her go. She does it all of the time. And so, you know, sometimes I do have to get up and move her because she thinks she's pretty safe and she can get there before I'll tune into her. But and you'd think she would learn, but it's a game with me and Lily. It's all just a part of what me and Lily are. I don't believe that I'm in any way unrealistic in what I know about them and what I have seen with them. And that's because I've spent a lot of time with them, because I do things with them, I show them things, I let them explore. And if you don't do that, then how does your snake learn? How is it ever going to learn anything? But I guess it all is effort, isn't it? And I wonder, in the reality of it, you know, people are jumping up and down about laws and the new regulations that are going to be brought in and all the rest of it. But I ask the question, And it's a serious question, really. If you were given instructions that if you want to have snakes in your life, or a snake as your pet as such, and the guidelines were that they were able to have an area that they could explore, they had that available to them for at least a couple of hours a day or whatever, but the availability of it, and to be taken outside to explore their natural environment, would you be as interested in keeping reptiles, snakes? I mean, I know there's no written law that, you know, if you have a dog that you've got to take it for a walk every day for a certain amount of time and so on, but we do tend to do that with our dogs, and we give them that, and we play with them, and we throw the ball, we keep them stimulated, we do lots of things with our furry friends. But why shouldn't we do it with our scaly friends, I'll say, even though that sounds really corny, but you know what I mean. Why shouldn't they have the same options available to them? What makes them any less an animal that deserves more than an enclosure, and especially a tub? You know, you cannot, and I don't care what anybody says, keep a carpet python in a tub all of its life. That to me is just cruel. It really is cruel. Yes, as babies, hatchlings, you know, even up to the first year even, you know, some are quite slow at growing, can manage a tub, you know, so long as they've got something they can have a little bit of a climb on, but they're also out and available, and have available, you know, to stretch out and, you know, to see things other than the inside of a tub. So yeah, and just a little bit about, you know, what if they were the rules? Would you have them? Would that be just way too hard? And is the convenience of them being fairly considered sedentary animals that just lay in their enclosures and don't need any more than that is really quite appealing? And I'm not talking so much about breeders. They don't have that the time to do this with individual snakes, although at least I see some are stepping up and realizing that putting them into a much bigger enclosure and environment that is stimulating has made a huge difference to a lot of the behaviors of some of the snakes that would normally be quite defensive and ready to have a go, which kind of proves that those snakes are so much more happier with the stimulation and the availability to climb and move than they were stuck in a tub, no matter how big that was. Anyway, just my thoughts, guys. So, Lil, what are we doing today? Exploring. That's what Lily's doing today. But guys, now it goes. It's important to take care of yourself and family and friends. Important to take care of your snakes. Think outside their enclosure and what benefits that has to them. Take care of all your animals. Where you going? I see you. I see you. Missy? Okay. Ciao.